will explain to you about sand control. Let me introduce our member. My name is Igor Bimaranda.
I'm Adrian Salimuddin.
My name is Indri Katakarbovir.
I am Patrick Joel Fauzan.
My name is Charles Gemarin.
Okay, let's go to the video.
Sand control is the method to control sand production into a wellbore. This is common requirement for several oil and gas producing wells around the world. There are two situations which cause sand production. The first cause is rock mechanical failure near wellbore, and the second one is dragging force from the producing or injection fluid. Sand production can lead to several issues such as production impairment due to sand plugging, erosion to completion string and downhole tool, damaging surface facility as separator, piping, and etc. And next, the second is cause of sand production. Conventional well completion in soft formation, the compressive strength is less than 1000 psi. Commonly produced formation sand or fines with fluid. These formations are usually geologically young or tertiary age and shallow, and they have little or no natural cementation. Sand production is unwanted because it can plug wells, erode equipment, and reduce well productivity. It also has no economic value. Not-Dallas formation sand production from well is dealt with daily on the global basis. In certain producing geologies, sand controlling completion are the dominant type and result in considerable added expense to operation. Okay, next, fluid flow. Fluid flow from the well is the consequence of the wellbore pressure being smaller than that in the reservoir. The drag force caused by the flow from the large to small pressures is related to the velocity, viscosity produced at any point around the well. Hence, when fluid flow toward the wellbore, the tendency is for some of the formation material to flow concurrently with the fluid.
Operation the fluid force are the retaining force that hold the formation sand in place. This consists of natural cementation, compressive strength, friction between sand grains, fluid pressure in the pores of the rock, and capillary force. The compression strength of the rock, the primary strength, is controlled by intergranular cementation that is secondary geology process. As a general rule, whole sediments are more consolidated than are younger sediments. Young formations commonly have little cementing material and are referred to as being poorly consolidated. Stated another way, they have low compressive strength. Their compressive strength are usually less than 100 psi and may even be so small that their strength cannot be measured. The frictional forces are related to the conditioning of overburden stress.
Consequence of sand production. The consequences of sand production are always detrimental to the short long-term productivity of the well. A long-term well routinely experience manageable sand productions that are expansion rather than the rule. In most cases, attempting to manage sand production over the life of the well is not an attractive or prudent operating alternative. Accumulation downhole. If the production velocity in the well turbulence in extent to transport sand the surface, it will begin to fill the inside of the casing. Eventually, the production interval may be completely covered with sand. In the case, the production rate will decline until the well becomes sanded up. In production cases, in situations like this, remedial operations are required to clean out the well and restore productivity. One current technique is to add baler on a wireline to remove the sand from the production tubing or casing, because the baler removes only a small volume and sand at a time. Multiplied wireline rods are necessary to clean out the well.
Okay, next, second is
accumulation in surface equipment. If the production velocity is sufficient to transport sand to the surface, the sand may still become trapped in the sector, heater treater, or production flow line. If enough sand becomes trapped in one of the area, cleaning will be closed to allow for efficient production of the well. To restore production, the well must be shut in, the surface equipment open, and the sand manually removed. In addition to the cloud cost, the cost of the deferred production must be considered. Consideration of downhole and surface equipment. If fluids are in turbulent flow section, laden fluid, the highly erosive Figure 5.2 is photograph of the section of well screen opposed to perforation that was production sand. Figure 5.3 show a surface choke that fail because of erosion. If the erosion is severe of record long enough, complete failure of surface and or downhole equipment may occur, resulting in critical safety of equipmental problem and well different production.
Fourth is collapse of the formation. Collapse of the formation around the well occurs when large volumes of sand are produced. Apparently, when a void is formed and becomes large enough to inadequately support overlying formations. Collapse occurs because of a lack of material to provide support. When the collapse occurs, the sand grains rearrange themselves to create a lower permeability than originally existed. This is especially true for formation sand that has a high clay content of wide range of grain size. For a formation with a narrow grain size, distribution well sorted and or very little clay, the rearrangement of formation sand causes a decrease in permeability that is not safer. In the case of the overlying shale, collapsing complete loss of productivity is probable. In most cases, continued long-term production of formation sand usually decrease the well's productivity and ultimate recovery. The collapse of the formation particularly becomes critical to well productivity if the formation material fills the perforation tunnels. Even a small amount of formation material filling the perforation tunnels will lead to a significant increase in pressure drop across the formation near the wellbore for a given flow rate. Considering these consequences of sand production, the desired solution to sand production is to control it downhole. Compaction of the reservoir rock may occur as a result of reduced flow pressure, leading to surface subsidence. Examples of subsidence caused by withdrawal of fluid and reduced pore pressure are found in Venezuela, Long Beach, California, and etc.
There are several techniques available for minimizing sand production from well. The question of which one to use arises. The choice range from simple change in operating practice to expensive completions such as sand consolidation or gravel packing. The sand control method selected depends on the site's specific condition, operating practice, and economic consideration. Some of the sand control techniques available are maintenance and workover with exclusions, selective completion practice, plastic consolidation, high energy resin placement, resin coated gravel, sand alone slotted liners or screen, and gravel packing. Okay, number one is maintenance and workover. Maintenance and workover is a passive approach to sand control. This method basically involves tolerating the sand production and dealing with its effects. If and when necessary, such as approach requirement bailing, washing, and cleaning of surface facility routinely to maintain well productivity. It can be successful in specific formation and operating environment. The maintenance and workover method is primarily used where there is minimal sand production, low production rate, and uneconomically viable well surface. Second is restriction. Restriction the well flow rate to the level that reduces sand production is a method used occasionally. The point of the procedure is to sequentially reduce or increase the flow rate until an acceptable value of sand production is achieved. The object of this technique is to attempt to establish the maximum sand-free flow rate. It is trial and error method that may have to be repeated as the reservoir pressure, flow rate, and water cut change. The problem with the rate restriction is that maximum flow rate required to establish and maintain sand-free production is generally less than the flow potential of the well. Compared to the maximum rate, this may represent a significant loss in productivity and revenue. Third one is selective completion practice. The goal of this technique is to produce only from sections of the reservoir that are capable of withstanding the anticipated drawdown. Perforating only higher compressive strength section of the formation allow higher drawdown. The high compressive strength section will likely have the most cementation and unfortunately the lowest permeability, while this approach may eliminate the sand production. It is true because the most valuable reserve will not to be communication with the well.
Plastic consolidation involves the injection of plastic resin that are attached to the formation sand grain. The resin subsequently hardened and formed and consolidated mass, binding the sand grain together at their contact point. If successful, an increase in formation compressive strength will be sufficient to withstand the grain force well production at the duration rate. The goal of this treatment is consolidate about 30 feet radius around the well without appreciably decreasing the permeability of the rock. Three types of resin are commonly available: explosive, furans, including furan, phenolic blend, and phenolic. The resin are in liquid form when they enter the formation and catalytic or carrying again in the requirement for hardening. Some catalysts are internal because they are mixed into the resin solution at the surface and require time and or temperature to harden the resin. Other catalysts are external and are injection after the resin in the place. Internal catalysts have advantage of positive place because all resin will be in contact with the catalyst required for efficient carrying, and disadvantage associated with internal catalyst in the possibility of premature hardening of the wall string.
Overflow system contain a high percentage of active resins. When first injected, the pore spaces are completely filled with resin. An overflow is required to pass the excess rain away from the wellbore area to establish permeability. Only a residual amount of resin saturation with a salt be concentrated at the sand contact points. Salt remain following the overflows. Most overflow systems as an external catalyst, although some include an internal catalyst. All plastic conditionals require a good primary cement job to prevent the resins from channeling behind the casing. Perforation density should be a minimum of 4 shots per foot to reduce rundown and improve the distribution of plastic. However, its perforation must be started silicone should not be perforated because fluids are difficult to place in the low probability starts.
Okay, next, however, perforation plugging or permeability variance often cause some perforation to take more plastic than other. In systems that use external catalyst, there is no sand control in area that are not contacted by both resin and catalyst. Then primary disquality in use resin system in containing complete and even placement of the chemical in the formation. In color formation, plastic placement may be uneven because of little variant permeability, and some zones are likely to be undrained. Their undrained interval may break down during subgrowth production, and they will send out for this section plastic consolidation in subtail for interval at less than 10 to 15 feet. Longer interval can be used packer to isolate and treat small section of the zone and time, but such operations are difficult and time consuming, strength on 11 temperature.
The fifth is high energy resin placement. As previously discussed, one of the main reasons for the lack of acceptance chemical consolidation techniques has been difficulties in placing the resin uniformly across the entire target interval and restricted length. The uneven coverage is more severe in interval greater than about 15 feet long. Causes for this are typically attributed to differences in injectivity caused by incomplete perforation cleanup during underbalanced perforating jobs or permeability variations in the formation interval line. See the chapter that discussed under the overbalance drilling in the drilling engineering section in this handbook. Also see the chapter in the production operation engineering section that discussed underbalanced perforating. High energy resin placement addresses some of these problems. The technique injects the resin rapidly under highly overbalanced conditions. The resin is surged into the formation at rates that will place the resin before the formation has a chance to fail. Another benefit to the rapid resin placement is that technique appears to be less affected by permeability placement over a long perforated interval. This method is still experimental. The methods are available for creating the high overbalance pressure that can assist resin placement propellant, gas fracturing, overbalance perforating, and overbalance surging. The overbalance perforating method is currently the preferred method.
The reaction produced are contained in place by the liquid column in the wellbore above the tool. The rapid generation of gas force the resin placed in the annular space surrounding the tool out of the perforation and into the formation. For this process, the casing must be in a good condition and properly cemented to be successful. Perforation must be clean and clear of debris, and all debris should be removed from the wellbore. Only clean sand should be perforated. Finally, if sand has been produced, the perforation should be prepacked with gravel barrier to the treatment, which may be difficult. The process involved in this type of treatment is to first inject a pre-flush of mutual solvent to remove water from the target interval. Furan resin is then placed across the perforation, and the gas-generating propellant tool is placed across the entire perforated interval. Nitrogen overbalance is applied to the work string, and the propellant device is fired to inject resin above fracture pressure. The resin is then followed with the acid post-flush to harden the resin. An advantage to this system is that resin will be placed in all perforation immediately across from the location of the gas generator tool. However, if mutual tool runs are required to treat an interval longer than about 36 feet, movement of a tool will make it difficult to hold the resin in position. The two other methods, overbalance perforating and overbalance surging, are designed to alleviate the problem of maintaining the resin in the position.
Resin-coated gravel. Resin-coated gravel treatment can be pumping into different ways. The first is dry, partially catalyzed phenolic resin-coated gravel. Thin resin coating is above 5% the total weight of the sand. When exposed to the heat, the resin core resulting in the consolidated sand mass. The use of the resin-coated gravel and sand control technique involves pumping in the gravel to the well to completely fill the perforation and casing. The bottom hole temperature of the well or injection of steam causes of resin complete the current into the consolidated pack. After carrying The consolidated gravel pack sand can be drilling out the casing, leaving the resin coated gravel pack in the perforation. Stand-alone slot liner or screen. Slot liner or screen have been used as the sole means of controlling formation sand production. In the surface, the function of filter, usually the formation is well sorted, clean sand with a larger grain size. That type of completion may help uncomfortably sort production like before the solid liner or screen stacked with formation material. When used alone as sand explosive device, the solid liner or screen are placed across the productive interval and the formation sand mechanical bridging on the slot or opening in the warped screen diameter.
The slot width of the screen gauge is sometimes said to be equal to the formation sand's grain size at the 10 percentile point of the Shaver analysis. The theory is that because the large 10% of the sand grain will be subdued by the openings of the screen, the lens sand will stop the remaining 18% of the formation. The ragged format will not stable and may break down from time to time when the production thread is changed or the well is short in. Because the bricks can fail or break down, restoring of the formation sands can which over time tends to result in plugin of the solid liner or screen.
Is gravel packing. Gravel packing consists of placing a screen or slotted liner in a well offset the completion interval and placing gravel concentrically around it. The gravel is actually large grain sand that prevents the production from the formation but allows fluid to flow into the well. The slotted liner or screen retains the gravel. The gravel is sized to be about 5 to 6 times larger than the median formation sand size. Gravel packing creates a permeable downhole filter that allows the production of the formation fluids but restricts the entry and production of formation sand. Schematic of an open hole and cast hole gravel pack are shown in figure 5.4. If the gravel is tightly packed between the formation and the screen, the bridges formed are stable, which prevents shifting and resorting of the formation sand.
Okay, that is the end of our video. Thank you for your attention and goodbye.